Hello and welcome to the 23rd episode of our weekly Unity tip Roundup, where we take a look at the tweets that were posted or mentioned on or around each Tuesday under the Unity tips hashtag. We are now way past our 20th episode and still going strong with the weekly tradition. What an awesome community that provides the basis for this series. In this episode we gather tweets that were posted, shared or retweeted around 14th of June 2022. There might be a pattern here since we have another one of Peter's tips to start the list. You may also know him by the name Sunny Valley Studio, and you might already have heard that he is into creating 2D games. Sticking with his passion, he brings us another tip for everyone who is also interested in all things flat and spritey. Especially when building your characters from more than one sprite, you might have encountered the problem where, for example, the weapon is sorted differently than the characters, which leads to some weird visual artifacts. The trick is to use sorting group components and to know where and how they are needed. For a specific example, you should check out the video in the posting. Chronic posts a lot of great tips each week, and we would love to show you every single one of them. But to keep the video under 2 hours in length, we need to pick only one per creator each week. Chronic is now at 1048 followers. The comment to his post, which is something like, "I used Unity for years and did not know this," shows how important tips like these are, even if they are super simple. We are talking about the option to add the object you are sending a debug log message from as a second parameter to have it selected when you click on the message in the console. Especially if you have a lot of candidates for a message, this helps finding the right one. We haven't seen Elvis here on our list in a while, but that does not mean that he has not posted more great tips in the last weeks. So for this week we are happy to have a spot for him again. He is an indie developer currently working on his project with the title Descending. Check out his profile for a link to his games. You may have encountered a point in developing your project where you made a new subclass and got really angry because you just need to replace it in the components, and it instantly loses all serialized data because you changed the script. At least for the specific case of having an inherited class, this can be solved as Elvis is showing. Put the inspector into debug mode and change the script from the component you want to edit. That is a nice tip, which will definitely save some time. Stardust Studios is a new name to our list. He is an indie game developer from the Midwest who also likes comedy and cats. To get his game, Powerblock, check out the link in his profile. Stardust Studios currently has 1683 followers. Sometimes the tips we find are very specific to a certain component or line of code. And other times they are broader tips for the general approach to game or project development. This tip is one of those and is a really important one. If you are developing a game, make sure that you play what you are creating. Make sure that it is playable. Do not rely on higher level testing or just test isolated spots. Test everything from the player's perspective. Even better, get people not involved in the creation process to test it. And never forget, negative feedback is often the best feedback, since it tells you what is not running great yet. Alison has the closing spot on our list. She's a game dev currently working at Filament Games and she has 1407 followers and apparently a black belt, so better be careful with your comments. We choose her tip to end the list on something light-hearted and fun, but also very important. If you can see past the humoristic image that is used to convey this tip, it is one that may help you get a lot more performance in your project. She is talking about querying components in functions. We all know it and we all have done it at some point. Calling getComponent on the same component in multiple lines just because it was a fast copy and paste solution. The nice solution would be to cache the components. It's easy and fast and should be one of the first things a Unity developer learns. Our own tip for this week goes in a somewhat similar direction, although it is a bit more in-depth. It is also about avoiding repetitive code in your projects. So, if you encounter a lot of similar lines in your files, maybe think about writing a function that works in all instances. And what better tool for something like this than generics? Write functions that work with different types and shrink down your code with this. Check out the image in our post to see how it works. It is a great and useful tool that each developer should be aware of. As we initially said, it is amazing that we are now a few episodes past 20 and still finding new and interesting tips each and every week. Also, with each week we try to make it 100% clear that this would not be possible without the great community behind the Unity Tips hashtag. If those we feature in our list and all of the others out there would not willingly and most importantly freely give out tips again and again, our list would be really boring and short. And that is why all of you should head over to Twitter and follow them and like their tips to show them that their dedication is rewarded. Once you are done, you may still be in reward giving mood. How about checking out our channel, which holds a whole bunch of past episodes from this series? And you may also find a bunch of Unity tutorials on different topics. And your reward for us could be a subscription to our channel. If you do so, do not forget to hit the bell icon to always get notifications. For any questions, comments, recommendations or requests, please use the comment section. Thank you for your time and see you next week.